Okay, so right now we're moving on to our shooting drills. Our next drill that we'll be practicing is our stationary shooting drill. Okay? With the shooting drill, our stationary shooting drill, what you want to do is you want to make sure that when you're shooting, you want to make sure you have your ball using whichever your left hand or your right hand. You want to make sure you have the ball, you have it up at shoulder level. You're using your strongest hand or whichever hand that you're strongest with. And what you're doing is you're looking at the front of the rim and you're keeping the ball. And what you want to practice on is you want to make sure you keep your elbows straight and close to your body. When you're shooting and releasing the ball, you want to make sure that you're extending your arm all the way out and you're leaving your wrist and you're flicking your wrist in a flicking motion forward. Okay? So one-handed, okay? Extend your arm out, flicking, okay? Good job, guys. Nice form. Okay, our next drill we'll be doing, shooting drill that we'll be doing, is we're going to be doing our shooting drill with the guide hand. And we just did it with this our shooting hand, but we also have our guide hand that helps us balance the ball. And all you're doing is you're using the same technique. Bring the ball up, keep your elbow in tight. Your guide hand is what's balancing the ball to help you. You want to make sure you have the guide hand on the side of the ball. You want to make sure you use it to balance. Okay, making sure you're still looking at the front of the rim. Use your guide hand at the side of the ball, keeping your elbow in tight, releasing. 2 points. Good job, guys. Make sure you observe how they're using the guide hand to balance the ball and then release the shot. Good job. Make sure you use your guide hand. Good job, guys. Okay, our next drill is our spot shooting drill. Okay, so we have 3 areas on the court. You can choose any 3 areas on the court that you like. Okay, but we've chosen 3 areas. We have our spot here, halfway between the free throw line and the baseline. So we have spot 1, we have spot 2 on the baseline, and then we have spot 3 on the baseline. And from each area, you're going to use our shooting techniques that we just practiced on, and you're going to shoot 10 shots from each spot. Okay? Okay. 1. That's okay, coach. 2. 3. Our next drill is our rapid fire shooting drill. Okay, we have Coach Jeremy that's going to show us how we're doing it from his chair. And all you're doing in the rapid fire shooting drill is you're going to designate 5 areas on the court. And we have our cones set up in our 5 areas. We have one down here on the baseline, we have one from the wing, we have one from the free throw line, we have another one from this wing over here, we have one down here in this corner on the baseline. And all you're doing is, this will be a good drill to have with a partner so they can get the rebounds for you to feed you the ball. Because what you want to do is you want to get used to shooting right off the pass, okay? So that's why it's important to have a partner in a lot of these drills that we're doing. So all we're doing is, in the rapid fire shooting, is that Jeremy will shoot the ball. After he shoots it, he'll move to the next spot, and I'll just feed the pass to him as he moves around. And he's going to move around to each of the 5 designated spots on the court in a rotation. Nice. Okay. So we've already learned our chest pass. Our next pass that we'll be learning is our overhead pass. Okay? The overhead pass, if you come down off a rebound, instead of throwing it from your chest area, you're going to keep the ball over your head, 2 hands, find your target, pass and release with 2 hands stepping into your pass. Pass and release, looking at your target with 2 hands. Okay guys, as you can see that technique, they're coming down with the ball, they're doing it with 2 hands. Now depending on your abilities, is how close you want to be to your wall when you're doing this drill. As you can see, Coach Carly is a little further back, but she's passing the ball with 2 hands, keeping an eye on where she's passing it to and she's stepping into her pass. You see Coach Wayne is a little closer. He's passing the ball with 2 hands over his head. He's looking directly in the direction that he's passing the ball and following through, and they're doing a good job. Good job, guys. Okay, our next drill that we'll be practicing is our fingertip ball control drill. Okay, so what we're doing on our fingertip ball control drill is you have your ball, you want to keep it up at eye level or a little bit above your head, and what you're doing is you're just tossing the ball in short passes from your left hand to your right hand. Keep your eye on the ball, controlling the ball with your fingertips. Okay, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand. So you're going to do that for intervals of 30 seconds. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll have our coaches here, and they're going to show you an example of how to do the ball control fingertip drill. Ready? On go. Set, go. Making sure you keep your eye on the ball. Coach Jeremy over there is moving a little faster. Go as fast as you can. And the better you get at it, you increase your speed and even your distance when you do it. Okay?
Smacking the ball from left to right. Ball slap. Just get your fingertips familiar with the ball.
Okay, our next drill that we're doing is we're going to do our control dribbling drill. Okay, on our control dribbling drill, we're going to practice it from 3 different levels today. Okay, whenever you're dribbling, you want to make sure that you keep your knees bent, your head up, back straight. You want to keep your head up, looking forward. You never want to look at the ball when you're dribbling. When you're dribbling, you want to keep the ball low. At different times, depending on what you're doing in the basketball game, you may have to dribble a little higher. Sometimes you may have to dribble it a little lower. We're going to practice dribbling on 3 different levels on our controlled dribbling drill. We're going to start out practicing dribbling it low. Then we're going to come up and practice dribbling it at waist high. And then at the highest level, we'll practice it at our shoulder level. And we have our coaches here that'll show us examples of each 3 levels. Okay guys, so if you observe their dribbling techniques, what they're doing is they're doing 3 dribbles at each level. 3 dribbles at the lowest level, 3 dribbles at the waist level, and 3 dribbles at the shoulder level. Making sure that they're keeping their hands on top of the ball as they dribble and keeping their eyes forward and head up. Okay, our next dribbling drill that we're doing is a crossover dribbling drill. And a crossover is a standard drill. You have a lot of basketball players that are famous for it. Kyrie Irving is a standout crossover dribbler. But when you're doing a crossover, again, you're at your lowest level when you're dribbling. We just practice on our different levels of dribbling. When you do the crossover, you want to stay as low as you can when you do the crossover to do it properly. And when you're doing the crossover is all you're doing, and this is a drill that you can even practice on without a ball, okay? So what you're doing is you're taking the ball from one hand, low as you can, and moving it over to your other hand. Crossing it over from one hand to the other hand, as low as you can. Keeping your head up, back straight, knees bent, and you're moving the ball. Make sure you have good balance because you use this drill to move past your defender in any direction. So you want to make sure you're just moving the ball from one hand to the other hand. Use control, keeping your head up, keeping the ball at its lowest level so you can move around your defender. And we have our coaches here that'll show you some examples of how to do the crossover. Okay guys, so as you can see, knees bent, Stand as low as you can. As you notice, Coach Jeremy and Coach Wayne are doing the modified versions from the chairs. And based on your abilities, it's how well or how high you can do it from your chair. But as you can see, they're doing the modified version from the chairs. We also have our other two coaches, Coach Carly and Coach Zaria, in the middle doing their versions of the crossover dribble as well. But make sure you do it to the best of your abilities when you're practicing. And then remember, you can do this without the ball. Our next drill is our zigzag dribbling drill, what we're practicing. So what we have is we have a starting point here. We have a cone set up. So what we're doing is we have our participants. Are they doing dribbling here to this point, crossover, to this point, crossover, to this point, crossover, doing zigzag cone to cone. Okay? Emphasizing staying low, keeping your head up, not looking at the ball, and using our crossover dribble, which we just practiced in our last set. Let's go, coach. Let's go, coach. Let's go, coach. Let's go, coach. Right, good job, coach. Good job. Okay, so now we're gonna move into our defensive drills, okay? We're gonna work on our defensive stance, okay? And sliding our feet, okay? So what we're doing in your defensive stance is you wanna keep your head up, bend your knees, keep your back straight. You wanna always make sure you have proper balance, okay? And what we're doing in this drill is we have two cones set up here, okay? And what you wanna do is we're practicing our lateral slide. When you're sliding, when you're playing defense, you want to move with your opponent. You always want to keep your eye on the midsection of their body. You want to keep your head up, your knees bent, palms up, just in case you want to swipe at the ball to steal it. And you want to slide your feet. But when you slide your feet, you don't want to cross your feet over each other, because what you can do is you can trip and fall, they can go right past you and score a basket. So what you want to do is you want to keep and slide your feet laterally without crossing over your feet. Okay? So you want to hop from side to side. So what we're doing in this drill is we're going from cone to cone. You want to see how many times you can go from cone to cone in your defensive drill in 30 seconds. So what we'll do is we'll have one of our coaches show us in the standing version, and then we'll have a coach show us in our modified version for the chair. Okay?
You practice this drill in your room, your living room, your garage, your front, outside, anywhere. You want to start at one cone and you want to slide to the next cone, making sure your feet don't touch. Okay? We just slide. Defensive slide. Yep. There you go.
Good job.
So do the same. As you improve, start increasing your speed. Okay? Lane slides. Slide to the orange cone and come back to the purple one. Good job.
Good job, good job.
There you go.
Go. Let's go, coach. Let's go, coach. Coach. Good shot, coach. There you go, coach. Push it, coach. There you go. Work hard, coach. Work hard. There you go, coach. Good job, coach. Push it, coach. Last one, coach. You got it. Push it,